I'm telling you, these walls are funny. First you hate them, then you get used to them.
The Shawshank Redemption. It's everyone's favorite movie about Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman eventually going to the beach, but it's also loaded with little-known trivia and fascinating behind-the-scenes stories that will change the way you watch The Shawshank Redemption forever. Stephen King was inspired to write the novella that the film is based on after he saw several men drinking beers on a roof and thought that they should be in jail. But it was director Frank Darabont who brought King's story to the silver screen. When budget cuts threatened to destroy the film, he decided to save money by shooting all the interior scenes in his own house and using his actual kids as extras.
I remember my first night. Seems like a long time ago.
The iconic narration in Shawshank made Morgan Freeman famous for his rich and resonant voice, whereas he had previously been known almost exclusively for his incredible foot. Here's something interesting. That's my worm. Part of the movie's strength is that in the midst of all this seriousness, it still leaves room for some humor. Like this hilarious moment where Red receives a hammer in the mail. And in case you weren't convinced Darabont was a Beach Boys fan, check out this awesome cameo. Over the course of filming Shawshank, Tim Robbins went through puberty 9 times. Talk about commitment.
What do you think? I think it'll take years. Years I got.
Here it is. The worst part in an otherwise great movie. This scene's shameless Brooks Brothers sponsorship nearly undermines the integrity of the entire film with its over-the-top product placement and even a blatant brand mention right here. Definitely a misstep. Check out this callback to that hilarious hammer joke from earlier in the movie. Never gets old. But even a great movie like Shawshank has its fair share of production goofs. Like this part, where you can actually see a whole chunk of the set break off. Not to mention this embarrassing wardrobe malfunction. But this scene where a dog is running in a river really boggles the mind. Last time I checked, dogs aren't allowed in rivers. Looks like somebody screwed up big time.
Everybody's innocent in here. Don't you know that?
That said, this movie is still a total classic, and even though it did lose the Best Picture Oscar to Forrest Gump, Shawshank is widely recognized as one of the best beach movies of all time. Which brings us to the famous ambiguous ending. Shawshank fans like to argue about whether or not Andy and Red went swimming after meeting on the beach, but Darabont has said in interviews that he left it open-ended on purpose. Maybe they went swimming, maybe they didn't. My personal theory? I think they did go swimming. Well, that's all the Shawshank trivia I've got for now. Hopefully you learned some new facts about this seriously epic movie that will make you appreciate it even more the next time you watch it. See you later!